Hello everyone, my name is Sleep Cycle, and in today's video I wanted to share with you a Max for Live MIDI device that I came across that I think is really awesome called JSM Spike. Now this MIDI device outputs random grace note gestures to any incoming MIDI signal that you've got. So let's just show how an approach to using this device would be. So I've got here in my first track operator loaded in with a preset called Plastic Kalimba. And in this track, I've got 3 notes, a bar each, going for 4 bars. And let me just play you how that sounds on its own without the Max for Live device enabled. Okay, I think you got the idea. It's a pretty simple idea, but can we expand on that simple idea and add more complexities to it? And we can with this device. So right now I've enabled it and I left it at the default setting it is when you load it into a track at the first time. Let's hear how much it's changed that MIDI data. Okay, cool. It's definitely been spiced up a lot. And what's really cool about this device, obviously, is the knobs and sliders that come along with it. And you can change some of the parameters to kind of mold the idea that you've got. Or maybe there's no idea. You just want to, play with the sliders and knobs and see, what ideas you can generate out of this device. So first things first, chance. The lower the chance, and I'm going to play it back, the lower the chance you have of these grace note gestures being created. The higher the chance, the more often you'll hear these grace note gestures. Let's set it back to 50, the default. Speed, you can either have it in milliseconds or you can quantize it to a grid. Say you want 8th notes, 16th notes. You have, the usual. But we'll keep it to milliseconds. And the farther left we go, the faster it goes. More to the right, the slower it goes. And what's really great about this device, and I really have to thank the creator, I'm going to just stop it there real quick. I really have to thank the creator of this device because they actually took the time to put a description for each knob and slider that's in this device. I find that to be very rare and seldom in the Max for Live user community sometimes, especially if you're browsing for a device on maxforlive.com and the description isn't quite clear. And then you get it and you open it, you put it in your DAW, and then you find out, well, I don't really know what this thing does. And then you end up just never using it ever again and taking up space on your hard drive, or at some point you just kind of delete it. I don't think I'm ever going to get to a point where this is not going to be in my library. This is a device that is definitely helpful in creating those randomized ideas. But you've got the speed, you've got repetitions, accelerations, and intervals. And so I'm going to play back the operator track and just kind of mess with the repetitions and accelerations so you can kind of get an idea of how it sounds. I'm going to pause right there. What's really great about this device is also the reset feature that it has. So you can kind of hear there, I had to kind of scale it back because it just got too crazy. And with this reset feature, we can go back to another starting point that we had initially and build upon it from there in case we just got, too lost into it. Intervals are in semitones, and it's a free type of box. So you can type in your own intervals as you like. And the output of it right now, I'm not necessarily too happy with it. It sounds a little, in my opinion, all over the place. So if I wanted to constrain it just a little bit further, I can add a MIDI device, which is a scale device native to Ableton, and have the C minor harmonic preset attached to it. I'm going to reset this. I think everything's already reset. I apologize. Just put that a little slower and raise the repetitions up. And let's further expand now, not on the MIDI data, but on the audio that's being played out. Let's add a delay and see how that sounds. And maybe want to expand the stereo field by having, the audio going from the left to the right channel. And now let's bring in some other tracks and see how we can use this device to build an idea towards a song. Now, one last thing I want to run through is a couple of these pages or panels that can be accessed on this device. We've got velocity, duration, and pitch bend. And so let's just say like we want to, and it goes up to the full value of 127, by the way. But maybe we just wanted to make it really subtle in terms of the velocity. We can. We can play with the duration. And then another feature is the sequencer. This thing actually has a sequencer in it. It's awesome. This sequencer can go anywhere from 4 to 20 steps. We'll just keep it to the default of 4. And it plays with the chance, basically the chance knob that we saw earlier. The lower the slider, the lower the chance, and the higher the slider, the higher the chance. So if we just kind of want to give it kind of a low chance sequence, we can. So I hope you enjoyed this demonstration and learned about a new Max for Live device that you probably weren't familiar with. And I will leave a link in my profile of where you can find this device. As well as later on, I'll be putting up a blog post exploring this device a little bit further, especially in a live setting. As I mentioned before, you could map these parameters to a MIDI controller and manipulate the data in a live environment, or expand on that idea and connect it to maybe some external synthesizers that you've got, or drum machines even, and see where we can go with that. So that'll be posted pretty soon on my website, sleepcycle.com. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you can find some usefulness in this device in your own musical creations. Thanks. Bye.